Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. Alison Sweeney is one of the most popular Hallmark stars, a fan favorite. Whether she is sleuthing as Hannah Swenson or portraying Tracy in the beloved Wedding Veil movies, she always challenges herself to grow as an actor, as well as take on roles like writing and executive producing. However, Ali has never played a character like Lily in Love, Jane before. This is her first comedic role since she was in Friends about 2 decades ago. This Loveuary movie is a true rom-com. This production captured the essence of Jane Austen, giving viewers both comfort and inspiration. Best of all, Alison is paired up with her Chronicles Mysteries co-star Benjamin Ayres. Alison kindly took time out for another TV show's Ace exclusive interview. What does she have to say about how this exceptional movie came to be? Ben as Mr. Darcy, the coolest abode in Hallmark history, and playing a woman who gets guidance from none other than Jane Austen. Please note that below, there are mild spoilers about Love, Jane, which premieres on Saturday, February 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Hallmark Channel. What is Alison Sweeney's Love, Jane character like? Congratulations on such a fantastic movie. I know Hallmark fans and Jane Austen fans will be wowed by this movie. I am absolutely enchanted by Love, Jane. Alison, can you tell us a bit about your character Lily Thorpe? I love this character. I loved the idea from the beginning, and I love that Lily's a romantic. She's obsessed with the Jane Austen world and all of the books, and she yearns to be like the old-fashioned way of the books and the characters. And she personifies all of those feelings and the sentiment of it. It was really fun. I really enjoyed that character. What part did hair and costume play in Lily's transformation? Alison, can you share a bit about how costuming and hair had a big part in Lily's transformation? Yeah, it was a big part. That's exactly right. I wanted to find a way to make Lily a bit old-fashioned and a bit romantic in the way she dressed and in the way she did her hair, and have her evolve over the course of the movie. We worked with our costumer Geraldine Detienne, who's so talented, to evolve her from the beginning of the movie. She is a bit over the top with it. Maybe one could say, trying too hard. Through the course of the movie, she finds herself and relaxes a little. And she's still romantic, she still loves her dresses, but she let down her hair, quite literally. You see her soften a bit as she falls in love. Alison Sweeney reveals what it's like to have Jane Austen as her best friend. To me, this movie is part rom-com and part girlfriend movie. What was it like to play someone whose best pal is Jane Austen? I love that you say that. That's exactly what we were going for. It's just so fun to play that. We mention it in the movie, there is a bit of a Mary Poppins feel to it, where we know as the audience, this isn't going to go on forever. Right? Jane Austen has to move on and help someone else. But it allows Lily to have some introspection and to make friends with someone she truly adores and admires. And learn something and gain a bit of her own strength through her relationship with Jane. Alison Sweeney on Kendra Anderson's performance as Jane Austen. I need to now gush. The scenes with you and Kendra Anderson were incredible and a huge part of Lily's transformation. Do you have anything to share about her performance and their dynamic? I really loved working with Kendra. She is so talented. She did a lot of research for the role. And we talked about it a lot, the development of the characters, their relationship, and the formality that she brings to it, the old world manners and gestures. We studied that a lot. My character Lily is still shocked by the revelation of this person being there, and then slowly easing into realizing that she may have some good advice for me, and the friendship slowly forming. And the trust between them that grows as she takes advantage of the opportunity of having this ghost in her house to learn manners and civility and English charm and dancing. It was so much fun. Dancing scenes were authentic to Jane Austen's time. That dancing scene was unbelievable. Can you elaborate on that? We wanted that to feel like such a friendship bonding moment. Those dance sequences are always some of my favorite parts of the wonderful movies that I've seen of all of Jane Austen's novels. Often in those days, girls would teach older sisters, would teach each other how to do those dances. Honestly, we did it as a montage and I felt like I was taken back through time. I was so blown away by the experience. I felt giddy. It was so fun to be in that world. You can tell by watching it. I kinda got a feeling that this is how Jane and perhaps her sister Cassandra may have practiced dancing when they were young. Yes. Yes. That was exactly. And the writer, our wonderful director David Weaver, wrote the script also. He had done tons of research and read her biography, and he mentioned that yes, of course, she danced with her sister. This was the way. That's how they learned how. They gossiped together and learned together. The Jane Austen story is quite interesting. The support she had from her family. She really had a unique tale for the time as a strong female in her world. And she is someone to really look up to. Love, Jane is director David Weaver's first Hallmark script. David Weaver wrote a beautiful script. And I believe this is his first one for Hallmark. David Weaver directed a lot of Hallmark movies, and the year before, he directed Me, Open by Christmas. In the Hotel Room, the night before, I watched, In the Hotel Room, the night before, Austen Land. I came to work the next day, and I was like, I love Jane Austen. I loved that movie, and could not believe I had not seen it. He then asked, what do you mean you love Jane Austen? She told him that she only saw the BBC Pride Prejudice like 20 times. Then, his eyes lit up. Then, I have a pitch for you. I said okay. He then pitched me the idea, while we were on the set of Open by Christmas, like 2 years ago, his idea for a Jane Austen movie. I said yes. Write it down, I'm pitching this to Hallmark tomorrow. This is so great. So, we developed it together. He wrote the script. Right from the beginning, I got to be part of his process and work with him on it. I'm so proud of where it came from there. I just knew when I heard it, this was perfect. So, he was an Austen fan, and you connected through that? Yes, it happened so organically. He loved it, I loved it, we both sensed it was meant to be. What would Jane Austen say? There is a running joke throughout the movie that pays off at the end. Did you and David work out together to ask what would Jane say? He had so many of the brilliant ideas that launched it. Like her using fiddlesticks or balderdash. We worked together to enhance it. He had the cattle, Jane was very practical in her own life. Some of her characters are modeled like Elizabeth, and Eleanor try to be more pragmatic. Whereas Emma is more romantic. Her characters modeled both sides of the spectrum. So, we wanted Jane to have the practicality of Elizabeth. Alison Sweeney talks about Benjamin Eyre's homage to BBC Pride Prejudice. On that note, there are several comedic parts of this movie. One is a Jane Austen Pride Prejudice Easter egg that involves your Chronicles mystery co-star Benjamin Eyres. I do not want to spoil it, but I am referring to the bit that is seen when Jane and Lily hang out. Can you tell us a bit about this comedic moment? Wasn't that funny? I died. I loved that idea. And Ben luckily had such a sense of humor and was so on board for making that work. We had to explain to him that women everywhere, for 20, 30 years have been swooning over that moment. The romance between Lily and Trevor is so satisfying. What was it like reuniting with Ben in such a different sort of role? That was what was so fun about it. Ben is such a talented actor and knew that from day one. It was just fun to get to work with him. He and I both felt we really enjoyed the challenge of working together in a different role, with different characters, and interacting in different ways. These characters are a bit out of the norm, and bringing them to life. They are just different people, and it was fun to play that. And he was so good. Do you have anything to say about Ben and his character billionaire techie Trevor Fitzsimmons with the cool faux hawk? He looks like a tech entrepreneur. Love, Jane has the coolest abode in Hallmark history. The place where Lily lives may be the coolest abode ever in Hallmark history. Who found that place? David, the director. He found that place and it was so cool. It's actually the house of a VP who works in Vancouver. He is just a creative guy. He was not on our project, but the crew knew him. When they were working in his house, it was like, be careful. Be careful. That's his stuff. That old grandfather clock and the whole vibe, from the living room to the dining room, it felt very period. It had that wonderful depth with all of that wood. It is just a place Lily would want to live. What is Alison Sweeney's favorite Jane Austen work? As for Jane Austen, do you have a favorite book, or audio, or performance that you turn to when you want something comforting or inspiring? What is your favorite? I love it all. I watch all the movies, I've read the main books. If I had to pick my favorite performance, it is the BBC Pride Prejudice. I mean, I could watch that anytime. It's just the best. And Sense Sensibility. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much. And we are really excited about the secret project you are working on now, One Bad Apple, a Hannah Swenson mystery. Please say hi to everyone. I know you can't say anything. I have tea.